Title says, Utah dad accused of leaving infant son in scalding water and causing burns to 40% of his body. True Crime Daily, published November 30th, 2023, and this is in Eagle Mountain. And it says a 41-year-old man was arrested and later released after his son was hospitalized with severe burns all over his body, which may result in amputations. On November 12th, a caseworker with the Utah Division of Child and Family Services contacted the Utah County Sheriff's Office to report they were worried about a young child who had been admitted to the University of Utah's burn center with serious injuries. Detectives went to the burn center, where they determined the boy's father took him to the hospital the day prior. The 5-month-old reportedly had burns on over 40% of his body. The Utah County Sheriff's Office alleges the injuries occurred while the infant was in a small bathtub under the care of the father. Deputies arrested the child's father, Matthew Beck, on a charge of aggravated child abuse. According to the statement, a detective noted in the probable cause affidavit that the burns were so severe that a large amount of the infant's skin had slowed off. Beck allegedly waited an hour before getting medical care for his son. The affidavit, cited by KSL.com, alleges Beck left his son in the tub while it filled up to the top with hot water and was almost to the point of spilling over the side. The child was reportedly in the water for approximately 5 minutes, and when Beck took him out, he allegedly saw his son's skin was white and peeling off. According to the affidavit, Beck allegedly spread Vaseline on his son's body, Jesus fuck, and put him in cold water to help him with the burns. A doctor said the child's second-degree burns are expected to progress to third degree. The affidavit reportedly says the baby will require skin grafts and his toes may have to be amputated. The burns are from the infant's feet up to his hips or lower abdomen and the lower half of his left arm. A detective went to the Beck's house and learned the water temperature was between 131 and 133 degrees. KSL.com reports Beck's wife, who was a nurse, told police he did something similar to another infant, but instead put him in cold water until he turned blue. He allegedly did it to toughen him up. The affidavit says when confronted about using cold water as a punitive action against another son when he was also an infant, he initially suggested that he did it to improve the child's circulation. After continued questioning, Matthew admitted that he did this to the infant as a form of punishment. The sheriff's office said Beck was released on a $5,000 unsecured bond, but is not allowed to have any contact with the victim or other children in his home. Man, fuck this dude. Go fuck yourself, bro. I wish the worst for this dude. I fucking wish his toes get amputated. Why don't his toes get amputated? Why? Why does it have to be the child? Why it have to be the child? Why can't it be him? Just so that we can have sort of an idea of what 131 to 133 degrees of water temperature is. So boiling water. What was this calculated as? I'm thinking they're doing. Could it be Celsius? Because, well, let's just say that it's being calculated in Celsius because 131 to 133 degrees. Let's see. So The boiling point of pure water is 100 degrees Celsius. So if we take it as it being in Celsius, the water that the child was put into was 131 to 133 degrees, and boiling water, the boiling point of pure water is 100 degrees Celsius. Hmm. Isn't that something, huh? And not only did he do that to one child, he did the complete opposite to another one to toughen him up. But why isn't anyone toughing this dude up? Why was he released on $5,000? I mean, he's a menace to society. If anyone should have been in jail, it should be. What am my taxpayer dollars paying for? Why is this guy given bond? He tried to kill an infant, 5 months old. It says it right there. He was 5 months old. He put Vaseline on the child's body after he had put him into the boiling water that he boiled himself before putting the child into it. It's how is this not premeditated? Like, it's just that the child didn't die. So I mean, he doesn't get any sort of responsibility. Like, this is the type of life that we live. That there's just no consequences. He's just facing no responsibility whatsoever. Guy got out on a $5,000 bond, like $5,000. Utah, Utah, what's good? Utah, we good? What's up? What's happening here? Is this? I'm only laughing because I'm so pissed off right now, bro. Because this is crazy. Do you see why I'm so completely opposed to people just popping kids out, no fucking responsibility, like no sense of knowing what you're doing, just like, oh, I can bring a kid into this world, ma, here comes a baby, brah, and it's like these fucking horrible parents. How many parents of these are we going to be in these cases? How many more are we going to have to subject ourselves to reading with these cases of these fucking horrible parents that deliberately and willingly do these things to children? Bruh. Yo, the burns were so severe that a large amount of the infant's skin had slowed off. Do you know what? Like, if you don't know what slowed off means, here I'm gonna look right up in the dictionary for you. Just kind of get a feel of what happened to this child. Uh, so basically, this is from the Cambridge Dictionary. In biology, when snakes and other reptiles slow off their skin, they get rid of an old, dead layer of skin. Do you understand what I just read? In turn, like when we're talking about a human being, I'm going to reread it for you. When snakes and other reptiles slow off their skin, they get rid of an old, dead layer of skin. And his burns were so severe that a large amount of the infant's skin had slowed off. A 5-month-old. A 5-month old. Sorry, I was going to say like a 5-month year. No. A 5-month old. Not a 5-year-old. A 5-month old. No capacity of defending himself. There's no way that this child could even utter a word other than it being goo goo gaga coming out of his mouth. Oh man. These type of cases, they're gonna be the fucking end of me. Steve W, I completely agree with you. Thanks so much for being here. I 100% agree with you. We have to go back to those uh, Ronald Reagan times when there was a massive amount of mental institutions closed in the United States of America. Why? Because there just wasn't any funding for it. They divested funding towards other more important things that were not mental health. The thing with that specifically is it's just we can't always attribute mental health to cases. It's just in reality, like, there's just really fucked up, evil, awful people in this world. That as much as we would want to say, like, fuck, man, maybe that's just like, maybe there's some sort of like mental health issue. Nah, man, it's just like they're just like really evil. It's just like really bad. It's just like they're just horrible, evil people. As hard as it is to believe that, but yeah, it's just like really awful, horrible people. Wow. I don't think I'm ever gonna remember. I don't think I'm ever going to forget this case. Only because it just reminds me of so many other cases that we've read. And wow, 5 months old, huh? But parents like this, the fuck needs kids in these world being born if these are the type of parents that are going to be raising children? That's insane.